Oh, 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 oh. Welcome to the podcast.
What is happening? What
It's
is
Christmas, dude.
it's Christmas? Are you going psycho gamer because it's Christmas?
I got the background. We had the nice intro music.
Love it.
So we're just festive this time of year, man.
Just festivos, I suppose.
Heck yeah.
Hang on. Something went
Hey.
wrong. There we go. Oh, it's
We're
not.
in.
Why is it pulling up our YouTube chat? There it is.
Whoa.
There's YouTube.
There's everybody.
There y'all are.
Hi, friends.
Welcome to the Practical Reality Podcast. We were
Sorry,
gonna
we're a
have a
little bit
special
late.
guest today, but he woke up sick and told us that he couldn't come today. So we've rescheduled that for next week, guys. We'll be
Yeah.
talking to Jordan from Derby VR. If you guys haven't tried that game out, it's free to play on the MetaQuest. Excellent game, highly recommend it. It's basically home runs like simulator. Fantastic game. Jordan's awesome. We're gonna be talking next week with him. But today it's just Declan and I again. We're gonna be talking about some fun stuff. Got a couple topics I want to talk to him about. I'm sure he's got some for me too. But yeah, be sure to tune in next week, guys, because we're going to be talking with Jordan from Derby VR. He's awesome. He's got a really cool story behind how he got into VR development stuff. And I'm excited about that one. So,
And bring some questions, chat. Like,
yes,
we'll
have a
want
Q&A
to
section.
have engagement. Yeah.
We will definitely let you guys ask him the questions you want. So, yeah, how you been, man?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing?
I have been sick again.
Heck yeah,
I
dude.
literally got over one sickness and straight into another. So that's fantastic. I seriously can't catch a break when it comes to getting sick this year. But it's more of like a stomach bug. So if I suddenly bolt from the stream, y'all know why.
Uh-oh.
Up, Chuck. Yo-ho and the Pirate's life overboard for me. But yeah, man.
What have you been up to this week other than just, vomiting?
The usual stuff. I tried out Marvel Rivals last night.
Yeah, dude.
Privately.
I've been addicted to Marvel Rivals.
Dude,
I've been playing it like fussing crazy.
Bro, it's good. I never got into Overwatch. I wasn't a big Overwatch person, but I kind of watched it from a distance. But
yeah,
this is the first time where I've been I want to be good at this game because it's really
Don't
cool.
do it.
I want to figure out what's the best hero, what's going on. Anyway, I played it last night for a good 2 hours, and it was a lot of fun. I was trying out a bunch of different heroes, trying to feel for what I like to play as. It's a different type of shooter.
Yeah.
Than I typically used to, but I tried it out and I highly recommend it. Super good, free to play.
I have some complaints about it.
Do you? I'm curious.
It destroys my computer. Can't play it on my computer, so can't do that. So I started playing on my PlayStation, and guess what? There's no account linking.
Oh.
So I bought a skin
on your
and
computer.
I can't use it. Yeah, I can't use it on my PlayStation.
Interesting.
So that's really stupid. And
that feels like an interesting choice.
Now I have a level 10 account on my computer and a level 10 account on my PlayStation 5. So pretty lame. Battle Pass stuff doesn't carry over. I don't know. It's confusing, but
that's that is kind of surprising that they didn't do some kind of account linking. But at the same time, I've been very impressed with how non-aggressive their monetization is.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's very unintrusive. Thank you, for real.
Or China, not Japan.
Is it China? I don't know.
Yeah, NetEase is China.
NetEase is China. I don't know, dude. I've really been it was very refreshing, and I was watching a TikTok and they were saying it's possible to unlock the entire battle pass without having to pay for it. You can just grind through it. That's what someone was saying. There's it's possible just via gameplay to get all of the perks. I was like, that is unheard of in flat gaming now.
So I paid for the battle pass. I didn't know there was a non-premium version of the battle pass. I thought it was just the premium battle pass. But the nice thing is all the content is available. So you can play as all 30, I think it's 33 characters they launched with, which is crazy, but you can play all 33 characters immediately at the start.
And I was so blown away at all the little things they did as well. I noticed when you're sitting there in the pre-lobby when you're waiting to launch into the game, there will be dialogue between heroes, and it's so in character and so I love that, dude. I was just like, I'm like a big superhero guy. I do more DC stuff, but like I love Marvel as well, obviously. But like seriously, it was sick. Like who was it? It was Loki and what's her name?
Thor. Oh,
the
Hela?
Death Girl. Yeah, Hela. She like they were talking, and it was like this conversation. I was like, man, this would be in a movie. Like this is fantastic. I love that. So cool. I got clapped by Spider-Man. It was fantastic. Like
you got clapped by Spider-Man.
I did. I was playing as Black Widow, like sniping from behind. Yeah. Spider-Man comes sneaking up, and I'm trying to shoot him as he's web swinging towards me, and then I just got destroyed up close. But Marvel Rivals, dude. I've been very impressed. I really liked it.
So chat's already asking, do you have a main? Let me guess, either Black Widow or the Punisher.
So the one that I did the best with last night. So I played all the heroes I played. I played first and foremost. I played as Moon Knight. I played as Moon Knight in my first match, and I did pretty well with him. Then I switched over to Widow. I tried Magneto. I tried Punisher. I tried Bucky Barnes. What's his name?
Okay, yeah, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. I tried Captain America. I tried what was the other one? I tried a bunch of them, but actually the person I was playing the very best at was Moon Knight. Like he was kind of the guy that I was cooking with.
Sorry, you can't play him. I'm already a Moon Knight main.
Dude, Waffle, thank you so much for the donut, bro. I don't know. I obviously I didn't try out like all of the characters, but I was very much enjoying playing as I was doing pretty well as Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He was a fun one to play as. I feel like I didn't play as any of the support characters. I definitely like the attack guys. So I haven't really tried out any of those guys yet, but was having a lot of fun with the people I did play as. Like I feel like I got knockouts with each of them. So it was fun. I'm not sure what my main is though.
I've been playing a lot of Moon Knight. I have a pretty good understanding how the character is done. Last night I had a 20,000 damage round.
Whoa.
I was freaking cooking with Moon Knight, dude. So Moon Knight's a lot of fun. I like Cloak and Dagger. If you're gonna play a support, they're a little bit more complicated, but they do a lot of damage and can do a lot of healing. And
that
then
could be an interesting one.
Jeff is like the most popular character in the game.
Oh, Jeff the Land Shark.
Yeah,
I've seen so many memes about him. He's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
They just man, I love like the character design. The servers have been working well. The gameplay is very smooth, very intuitive. Like I feel like it's been a minute since they've launched a solid game.
So I will say I have a friend who can't play.
Really?
Yeah, he's been having server issues. So every time he connects, every time he jumps in a game, it disconnects his server. Well, we found out today that if you're alt tabbing out of the game at all, it will get rid of your connection to the server. So
kind of makes sense. Because
yes, I am looking at the chat. Guys, I'm here every week.
Declan is here, guys. Declan
maybe not next week.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. Declan's gonna be traveling next week, dude. We could do an in-person podcast,
dude. That'd be dope. Yeah,
you could come over and try out all my crap.
Yeah, you guys want to see me run? It's not a pretty sight. I can get on the omnidirectional treadmill though, and just sweat.
Hey, that's what they pay for. That's what we come for. We come for the big bucks. They want the knockoff Jack Black running away.
I gotta learn the Jack Black run.
You just gotta come to the stream and say, "I am Steve."
Jablinski Games. That's what his. Did you ever watch that? He had his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that was goated. Did he stop doing that? That was so fun.
He did it for a while. It was during COVID. I watched every episode of Jablinski Games.
I definitely love the YouTube when like celebrities jump on and like create a more personal account. And I thought Jack Black did a great job with it.
Have you seen the Cristiano Ronaldo one?
I've seen it, but I've never actually watched any of it. Like,
what is he's the most followed channel on YouTube now.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, the dude is worshipped. It's like he's a crazy good football player. So like, I get it. Like, it's fine. It's football. But I don't know. I feel like if Messi jumped on there, he might surpass. I don't know. Messi or Ronaldo, chat. Where are we at?
I've heard Messi doesn't have like the real people personality.
That's true. Like he's just a good football player, and I feel like everyone else.
He's a pretty like family guy. Just kind of keeps to himself with his kids and stuff.
I kind of love that though. I've seen a lot of edits of like him being like very respectful, like to like not do anything to like even imply that he's not. It's cool. He's a cool guy. I have no reason not to respect him. I also love that he's like from Argentina, kind of came from rags to riches stories. Love that. Love that.
Soccer is not dog crap, John. If that is your real name, you're dog crap. I played soccer in college. I tore my quad my freshman year of college and had to stop after the season ended. But I played goalie up through, college. I do agree hockey is amazing to watch.
Hockey is so fun. Yo, that is something like, chat, is there a good hockey VR game that I should try out? Like, let me know because I am curious to try out a good hockey VR game. I feel like that would work well in VR. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like that would
be fun.
Bro, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
I wonder if you could implement a bunch of the same things in like a hockey game like you would in a baseball game. Like if there's already a baseball game that exists, could you do, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe hockey's not that hard.
I don't know. So like it'll be interesting to talk to Jordan about like the way that he did his baseball game because I don't want to talk about any of it because he has a great story of like how he chose to do derby and stuff.
Okay.
But he like I feel like in derby, it's not necessarily like you're playing a full baseball game. They took a lot of like the greatest parts of baseball and like it just simulates that over and over again.
Okay.
So,
good because there's very few really good parts about baseball.
As someone who played baseball like all through high school, I have a picture of me like my senior year of high school. I played in right field, dude, and there's literally a picture of me in a varsity game texting on my phone out in right field, dude. Like I was literally talking to my bros. I'm pretty sure I was talking to the group chat about like an Easter egg in Call of Duty Zombies. Like it's like that's like the picture that went in the yearbook and stuff. It's just like me on my phone, like Garrett Cook playing baseball, playing. Yeah.
That's funny.
That was great.
I like watching baseball. I'll go to baseball games.
Baseball games are great. I love going to baseball games.
It's fun, but I hated playing it. I played it for a little bit. Soccer was really the only sport I liked because I was a goalie. So it wasn't even like real soccer. I was just kind of the crazy person that just got to hit people and be hit. Gave a lot of people concussions, broke a couple arms, lots of good stories about some fun injuries that I caused when I was playing goalie. So that was my favorite part. It was a good way to get out aggression and not be penalized.
Hey, that's what we have. That's what we have. What's it called for, right?
Yeah.
Sports and video games, so that we get all of our aggressiveness out of the way. Oh man,
I'd love to hear about some of your wins and losses this week.
Okay, gaming win this week. Wow, what was that? What was the one that I was thinking? Honestly, I would probably say Marvel Rivals is definitely my big gaming win for the week. That was really cool. Gaming loss. I just found out about this, but the Nintendo versus Pal World lawsuit has been going on.
Yeah.
And Pal World has officially announced that they will have to remove the ability to summon and capture pals with pal balls, I think is what they call them.
Wait, isn't that like the main mechanic of the game?
Yeah, so this is a little scary. This is a little scary because basically what the court ruled is that they're basically saying, yep, the Nintendo has a patentable gameplay mechanic in their game that they have a patent for, so no one else is allowed to use it, which is really scary and sad.
That's only in Japan though, right?
Yes, that is the one saving grace, right? Like it is in just Japan. It was the Japan. I think they did it in the Tokyo court is where the actual stuff went down. But it's a little scary because I mean, knowing corporate America, I feel like it's not going to be long till someone sues over here and gets that patented, and like that's not going to be good for games. Like that's going to be the end of a lot of indie game development. So
that's rough. Well, I mean, my gaming win of the week was I finished a game that I had been working on for a little bit, but it's a complete ripoff of a different game. So maybe I won't be able to.
Hey, I saw that. Yeah, you should drop the link in chat if you can too, right? Because people can play it.
Yeah,
it's actually really fun. It's a really great rage game. I tried it out on my phone. It was great.
Chat, have any of you played Jump King before? If so, it's like a Jump King type game. So the concept is there's an arrow that moves left and right above the player, and then you have to get the angle right and then get the power right to jump from one platform to another. If you miss the platform, then you can fall. There's a fall that'll take you from 98% of the way completed back down to 7% completed of the game. So like it's meant to make you really mad, and it's really difficult. But the first 5 people that beat it, I have something in there that if you send me an email with the end screen and a piece of paper with your name on there, I will add you onto the last screen as like the first 5 people to ever beat the game. So we're trying to do something fun
in the Discord. Will ya? I'll drop it in the chat.
I think it's in the Discord already, but I can. Oh yeah. Let me
DM it to me again, just real fast, so I can get it in there. Yeah, guys, it's pretty fun. Declan did a great job with it. It's kind of a fun take on it being a rage game.
And it's all available on the web. And if you want to make a version of it yourself, you can actually clone the code. That's what it's nice. Eventually, I'll make a tutorial on how I made it. And then, yeah, you'll be able to make your own version of it. But I've been making tutorials all day today for some of the stuff I've been making.
Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome. Anything you want to tell chat about?
No, just that one. There's some exciting news that's going to be coming out in the next little bit about Niantic. So a lot of their games are going to be more accessible, hopefully.
All right.
But yeah, just play the game. Let me know what you think. I'm hoping nobody beats it in less than an hour. That's the ideal. I want somebody to be suffering for at least an hour. My inspiration for it is if you watch Jump King Rage compilations or To the Top Rage compilations.
Yeah.
I want somebody to be so pissed off that they want to break their keyboard when they
Oh my gosh. One of my favorite videos of all time is Getting Over It with Markiplier. When he plays it and he drops down. Like, oh my gosh. I love those things.
Yeah.
That mechanic of falling down is crazy.
Yeah, no saving. And
save.
the idea of the game is it's all based off of my daughter's doll. So
nice.
I had to scan in 3D models and then use those scans. So all of those are real world objects. Everything in the game is a real world object that I scanned in and either put in the actual scan itself or use the scan as a texture. So the doll gets left outside and it has to climb back up into the room where my daughter is to get back to her so it can be played with. So it is climbing all the way back up the side of the house and then falling back down to. But yeah, that's what you're trying to do. So it's a lot of fun. It was a good project to work on. It was for a game jam. Again, if you want to play free games, itch.io has so many free games. So,
but do be careful because their terms of service are very liberal, so they allow for a lot of variety, shall we say, in both the mature section and immature section.
Definitely.
So, yeah. No, good stuff, man. That's awesome. Yeah, if you guys want to go check out Declan's tutorials, I've got the link to his stuff in the description. Today was a little bit weird. We were having some technical difficulties getting this stream started. I don't know what was going on. Actually, I do know what's going on, but I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to piss off that company because they tend to sponsor people. Anyway, yeah. So one thing I was thinking about, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I wanted to bring this up with you.
Okay.
Ubisoft is in a hard spot right now, right?
Yeah.
So here's my question for you. What if you were in Ubisoft's position? If you're leading the ship, what would you do to bring them back? Like, what would you do to turn the company around?
I feel like you have to get a new IP. Like,
You think you
don't kill your IP, but make something new. That to me is like, because Assassin's Creed, like they reworked Assassin's Creed right a while ago. And I can't remember which generation it was. It was a success when they reworked it. It was a lot more fun. But to me, like when I think of Ubisoft, I think of Assassin's Creed, and that's probably it. Honestly, I can't even tell you what most of their other IP is at this point because they've done so much. I think they did like, was it Rayman and the Raving Rabbids or something like that? Was that Ubisoft as well?
So I'm looking right now at like their current games. So, decline all your cookies. Gosh dang. So they have. So this is just like right now from their newest to oldest. They have Assassin's Creed Shadows, Outlaws, Anno 117, Pax Romana. No idea what that is.
Okay.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown.
I've heard the Prince of Persia games have been pretty good.
Just Dance, Assassin's Creed Nexus, Riders Republic, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Yeah.
What the freak?
So that's the Rayman and the Raving Rabbids. They did a Mario collaboration where they had it's a turn-based strategic RPG where you're controlling Rabbids and Mario characters. So that one, both of those have been huge successes. I mean, it sounds like their core IP, like Assassin's Creed and some of the other stuff, is
Rainbow Six is another one of their big killers right now.
Okay.
Rainbow Six. Did you ever try For Honor?
Yeah.
That game is sweet. I actually do love that one. For Honor is good. I feel like they could expand on that potentially. I didn't know Just Dance was Ubisoft. That's interesting.
I didn't either. So they have some good games. Just Dance to me is another one like FIFA where you just buy the newest version. You know, everybody just buys the newest version.
Yeah,
yeah. New songs,
new whatever.
That's probably a cheap game to make, and you just get well, maybe not because the licensing. But I'm sure they have good licensing
Division.
agreements.
The Division. That's the other one. Did you ever try The Division?
No,
I never tried it either. But I had a buddy who was obsessed with it and like played it all the time, and it had some interesting mechanics. But yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew is another one I'm seeing.
Okay,
that's an interesting one.
They have a lot of like
X Defiant, which is getting shut down, but I thought it was solid gameplay.
A lot of like big brand names and stuff that they're associated with, like Prince of Persia. They have
a Star Wars game. They have Star Wars. Yeah,
they did
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. That's with the Avatar. That's a huge IP.
I think they did Starlink: Battle for Atlas.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because they did the Star Fox stuff in it, and Ubisoft. They had talked about potentially having Ubisoft do the next Star Fox game.
Interesting.
Because of it. Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's the solution is create a new IP, but maybe not. Maybe go back and like it sounds like there are people that are fans of older games. Maybe they should do what everybody else does and remaster them. Just kidding.
Well, okay, like to that point, like to just stay above water, I feel like there's a couple games they could remaster that people wouldn't be too mad about. Like, for example, I would love to see Assassin's Creed Black Flag remastered with like modern day graphics. Okay. That game is amazing. Yeah. And it still looks pretty darn good for what it is. But if they did just like a little touch up on the like character models and stuff, updated it to just like run a little bit better and whatnot, that would be a fantastic game remaster. I would buy that personally. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be mad about that. But I agree with you. I think like they need a new IP. And like honestly, you know what the IP I was thinking they should do?
What?
Did you ever play Battlefront?
Yeah.
So X Defiant, they're shutting down X Defiant, but I played quite a bit of X Defiant actually.
Really?
I really liked the
How
gunplay.
Old is it?
It's only like a year old. Like,
okay.
It didn't last very long. But like the gunplay was awesome. And like I feel like if they have they have a relationship with Star Wars, it's probably not the best because Outlaws is like kind of a very polarizing game right now.
Yeah.
But I think they could do a really good Star Wars shooter if they use like the same mechanics that are in X Defiant, but like made it Star Wars themed,
Yeah.
and then added some kind of more community based like gameplay elements to it. Like in the old Battlefront, did you ever play Galactic Conquest?
Yeah.
Where like you would like play against players and you'd go on these one-on-one matches
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
conquering planets. I feel like they could do that, but at like a community-wide scale where it's like, hey, you either play as the droids or the clones, and it's
Okay.
like this glowing. I don't know. That's what I would do if I were them.
Kind
I
of
would
like
make a new one.
well, did For Honor have that system? Was it the one where you could pick like a
You could
you
choose
could
a
pick
faction. I
a-
do remember they could choose a
yeah,
faction.
and then you would take over different areas based off of the faction. Okay, there's an example of somebody who did that recently who did it really poorly, and it
Mhm.
kind of broke the game and killed it early on. And it's
Really?
kind of coming back. It's an Amazon Prime or Amazon Game Studio game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me find it real fast. They tried to do the faction thing, and it didn't work very well when they launched. I feel like they tried to have these giant like 70 versus 70 fights where you could take over a city and your whole faction would conquer it. It was called New World.
New World. Let me look that up.
And like the gameplay just got super stale really fast for a lot of people. And like there were classes that were too overpowered. And I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I think any company that's struggling with their huge AAA titles should pull back the scope and make something smaller and really focus on the characters in the game, really focus on making a world that people will like, and then try and make a smaller game to make the IP popular. So like the robot game that PlayStation did.
Yeah.
Like they did a small demo of that and it was super popular.
Right.
And they were able to expand that into its own franchise now.
Right.
But I think they just need any company that's huge that's having problem with their current IP should go back, make a game focused on character development, getting people attached to the characters, and then have a really, really small scope and really, really easy mechanics that are just developed really well. It's when they start getting into these giant worlds and they're spending all this money trying to get these huge games taken off that they start really, really hurting themselves when they don't do well.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like, I feel like once you also, the other thing I feel like Ubisoft needs to stop doing is I feel like they have set themselves up for failure so many times by saying, like, by publicly announcing their budget on some of these games. Like with Skull and Bones, they're like, oh yeah, this is a quadruple A game because of how much money we put into it. And it's dead in the water. Like no one plays that game. It's like I would argue Cell VR is a better pirate game than Skull and Bones. Like it's
I don't even know what Skull and Bones is.
Exactly. Right? Like it's so anyway, I just feel like they so very much set themselves up for failure with that because they're like, oh, we put so much money into it. And so like immediately everyone's expectations were like through the roof. And then it didn't even, I don't even think it would have met expectations had they said nothing, you know?
Is it supposed to be a Sea of Thieves type game?
I don't know. So the
big complaint.
Cool. So here's the problem. So they said that they've been working on this since Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which again is like 10 years. So it's like been in development for 10 years. But
That's
like
crazy.
The least fun part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag was actually ship-to-ship combat. The better part was actually like getting on the other person's ship and hand-to-hand combating people on the ship. Like that was the cool part. You kind of did the ship combat because it was necessary, right?
Yeah.
And that's literally the entire game is that. Like all you can do is the ship-to-ship combat. Like they took the worst mechanic in Assassin's Creed 3 and made that the entirety, or not Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and made that the entirety of this game. And it's like, who asked for that? And why did you spend like $1 billion on it?
Yeah, I wonder how often do companies like that make games like vertical slices of a game and get external testing on it? Because I'm sure they do a lot of internal testing and they have their own people. But I would argue that even like your own internal testing team sometimes isn't your core demographic.
Absolutely not. This is actually something we've learned a lot about this last year at Red Team because we launched that game Hard Drive.
Yeah.
You know, and like people went in and tried it. Like they thought it was a cool enough concept to like go in and try it out. But like no one has like latched onto it in the same way that people have latched onto Sail VR. And that could be for a variety of reasons. But one of the things I feel like I've learned from it is it's like we should have gotten our community involved from the get-go of even deciding like, hey, like what little game should we make this year, you know?
Yeah.
And so like looking into 2025, we're actually going to pitch the community several small game ideas and let them vote on which one we want that they want to see built. So that like from the beginning we get that community feedback. And I just feel like with AAA companies, they're so secretive and like NDAs and like we can't let anyone else know what we're doing. They work so stealthily that they forget to get the feedback from the people that they need to actually make happy, you know?
Yeah.
And they take guesses, I'm assuming, based off of the data and whatnot. But even then I'm like, what data are you looking at that made that seem like a good idea? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So it's an interesting one.
I think I'm excited to see what people say about your ideas. I think it's fun to have a bunch of your own ideas and pitch them and not try and take ideas from chat necessarily.
For sure.
I
mean, that's kind of the idea. Is it's like we've created a couple of game ideas that like the team themselves are pretty passionate about. Like we have like 3 game ideas that we've kind of been workshopping behind the scenes, and we're going to basically pitch those 3 ideas to the community. And then from there, I feel like we've got the basics of it, but let's use the community to refine it to be exactly what it needs to be to go, to be like a bigger game, you know? That's the theory, right? That's kind of our idea this next year that we're going to try out. And
I think that's fun.
I'll definitely let people know to see, how that goes for us, because I don't know that a lot of VR companies I've noticed. So like you've got the Gorilla Tag makers, right, who are making this new game called Orion Drift, and it's been interesting to watch how they've done their go-to-market strategy. With this new game, because for one, like it's Gorilla Tag Movement, so it's a pretty similar game to their last game. But if you know anything about the creators of Gorilla Tag, they actually started out as Echo VR players. Like they were professional Echo VR players. They played in tournaments. The main guy, Lenny or whatever his name is, Lemming. That's his name.
Yeah, Lemming.
He he won like a lot of tournaments and stuff. Like he was a really good Echo VR player. So I feel like this is kind of his ode to like Echo VR. Echo, and that's like mixed it with this extremely successful movement mechanic he created. And I feel like that's a perfect fit. But it's not that different. You know, it's like it's pretty much Gorilla Tag with like soccer, you know. It's Gorilla Tag esports basically.
Well, we've talked about I believe there was that one game, the Thomas the Tank or Thomas the whatever, the horror game.
Choo Choo Charles.
Choo Choo Charles, yeah.
Yep.
They're making a new game, right? And it looks like a lot of fun, but they're having a hard time getting it taking off like Choo Choo Charles did.
Yeah, and I feel like on that side of things, it's because I'm sorry, but like Choo Choo Charles, the character design of that train was so gripping. Like I remember the first time I was exposed to that game is I saw a thumbnail on YouTube, and I'm sorry, but a spider train with a freaky A face, like that immediately caught my attention. Whereas this new game is very like goofy, very silly. And there's not anything about it that catches your eye other than the only reason I feel like I clicked on that game is because I saw like, oh hey, it's 2-star games. You know, like I want to look at that. Anyway. So it's interesting. It's interesting making new games as an established studio with good stuff. So
well, a lot of them, I feel like we're kind of starting to see, even with you guys, like you have this trend where your first game, not your first game, but your game is like starting to do well. You feel like it is taking off and you're catching fire, right?
Oh yeah.
You're like, all right, let's start another one. We can make it work again, right? Instead of, I don't know. And the second one isn't working out as well. I feel like I'm seeing that a lot as of late. Like companies that make really good first games, they're like, oh man, we did this thing. It worked really well. Let's just do another one. And it'll catch fire again. Yeah. But it's not being as popular.
I mean, the other thing to consider with all this as well is like I was actually talking to another VR developer the other day about Sail, because like another thing I'm tempted to do is I kind of want to create the next installment in the Sail series
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to make the I mean quote Sail 2, but it's not really Sail 2. It's in the same universe, but it's it's
I remember
totally
your theories for lore for this a long time ago.
Yeah. So like I have like I want to say like 4 games that I want to build inside of like the Sail VR universe. And I like lately, like exactly what you said, like Sail has kind of gotten to the point where like it's doing pretty well. There's not a ton more we can add to the game. Like there's definitely more, and we definitely have like a good roadmap going into 2025. But it's not like it's starting to get to more of that like maintenance phase rather than like we're building cool new stuff type phase, right? And so it kind of has me itching to like start the next games, like start getting on the next one. But I was talking to this dev about that, and he was like, you got to remember like how long it took you to get to this phase, right? Like I've been working on Sail VR since 2020. And it's finally 4 years later, the top 50 VR games, you know? And he's like, you know, like, yeah, you've got a bigger follower. It might take less time to get your next game up to where it needs to be. But at the same time, like, it's still going to take a lot of time to get it there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something like to consider, you know, like we built a very small game hard drive and we've been pushing it on marketing and stuff, but you know, it's very small scope and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, for what it is, like it is what it is, right? But like we made the small game and it didn't like have the explosion effect that we were maybe hoping it would have, but like it's still a fun game. We still have lots of players to jump into it and have fun with it, and it's out there. We're gonna let people keep playing with it. But you know, like I have this really big game that I want to build again sooner than later, but we'll see. I don't know. it's an interesting thing to like learn from. Yeah, because there's also a bunch of like little games that are simple that I want to build that aren't in the Sail universe, but like, is it worthwhile to keep making little games when I could be working on a bigger game? Like, I don't know.
Is there like a Mario Party type game really in VR yet?
So the new what's it called Dumb Ways to Die game is actually kind of like that. It's like mini games kind of oriented. Yeah, there's something like that.
Gotcha. I just like it. I like the idea of like mini micro games and stuff too. And maybe that's just because I'm developing those types of things a lot more, like an Infinite Runner and Flappy Bird game and that Jump King type game. But I don't know. Did you see that game that came out recently that was like 50 arcade style games
in VR?
No, it was just a VR game. I think it's called like UFO 50 or something. Let me find it real fast.
No, I have not.
UFO 50 is a collection of 50 single and multiplayer games that span a variety of genres, from platformers and shoot 'em ups to puzzle games, roguelites, and it just looks like a bunch of older style games. Like I remember being a kid and having an Xbox and getting the Atari compilation discs where you could play all the Atari games and stuff in on your Xbox. And I always liked those types of games because it felt like you were getting so much for one game, you know?
Right.
It'd be cool to do something like that in VR as well, I think. And nobody's really done anything like that yet.
The hard thing about that, and I've consulted with a few people who have come to me about similar things.
Yeah.
I feel like the problem is again, like the demographic of VR is young men.
Yeah.
Right? Like
for sure.
Teenage boys. And as soon like to make it make sense monetarily for something like that, you like I feel like most people would say like, oh, you have to buy something right off the bat, which as soon as you put a price tag on something, you're cutting out a significant portion of the audience that is currently in virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But then also like this is a problem I've seen with a couple of like the Gorilla Tag clones. Like you don't have enough players in virtual reality yet to support like tons of different game modes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, again, going back to hard drive, another thing we learned from there is we built a second arena that's like more of a hardcore arena. It's like way more difficult, but we found out very quickly like there was just not enough players in that arena ever. And it's like we already took a small player base and divided it even further by creating another arena for them to go.
I think that was one of the things they learned about Monkey Do was like they tried to do ranked Monkey Do of the main gameplay and it just didn't work.
Yeah, just because obviously there's something to be said about like, is the gameplay actually appealing?
Yeah.
But then like furthermore, you have to think about like, okay, like how big is your player base? Like how many people would actually be online at a time? That VR shooter game Veil, they actually just said in a post publicly, people were asking like, hey, when is ranked play coming? And they're like, look, in order for ranked play to make sense, we have to have enough people in the game at any given time that you can find a ranked match.
Yeah.
Like the reason it works for Call of Duty in those big games is because there's always 20, 30,000 people online at any given point.
Yeah.
And you're bound to find at least 500 or so people playing any of the game modes available. Same with Fortnite, It's just like we're just not quite to scale with VR to support all the like mini game modes.
For sure. And I think like the mini game type things, I think would be fun as like a single player game.
I think so. I think there's something to like some more like single player games.
Yeah.
I actually do have an idea for a single player game that's like very challenging, very unique that I want to try, but I don't know.
No. You mentioned Fortnite. How was your Fortnite stream? I saw that.
That was wild. Like I haven't played Fortnite since 2014, which chat was making fun of me for because it didn't come out until 2017. Get clickbaited, chat. Anyway, so I actually haven't played it for like a really long time, and I jumped into it because over Thanksgiving I was watching and playing like side by side with my brother-in-law, and I was like, man, this actually looks like a lot of fun. So I initially jumped in with him and his little group that he has. And then we just decided like, let's open it up to chat. Let's do a private version of one of these game modes and let's just open it up to chat. So we had like, I kid you not, almost 20 people from chat who joined from chat. And we were just in there playing and it was a blast. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Like I was very impressed with like that ability of it. Like I'm surprised more streamers don't do stuff like that where like try to open up the chat because it was so fun. It was so much fun to play with people in my chat, and we like made it a competition. We were like, all right, whoever wins this round gets to be a part of our duo, and you get to carry me to victory. So we'd like play a version of the game. They'd go and be like the person trying to carry me. We'd lose, obviously. Go back in and choose someone else. Like it was a blast.
That's
I had
funny.
a lot of fun with that stream. And actually, like Fortnite just came out with a first person like
I saw
destroy game mode. I want to try that.
That's interesting. I think Fortnite is really cool just because of the like Fortnite editor that they have available now, where you can kind of build whatever you want and have like your own video game inside of Fortnite. It reminds me a lot of Roblox, but that's like a metaverse to me in a way. And there are companies that are investing so much money into creating marketing content inside of Fortnite now. Like you can go to a Coca-Cola world inside of Fortnite. I think the biggest problem that people are facing though is they're creating these worlds, but they're not giving players anything to do. Yeah. So they're failing. So they're going to get like 100 people and they're going to take a picture and say, hey, look, all these people are in our world, but then nobody's ever going to go back.
Yeah. Like I feel like what I would do, and this is like when I applied for the master's program that I was going to do at BYU, this was actually what I wanted to look into. I wanted to study the effects of like real world rewards inside of like virtual reality and video games and vice versa, right? Like real world things that go inside. So like for example, if I were Coca-Cola making a Coca-Cola world, I would make it so that it's like an obstacle course or like some crazy like something or other where if you make it to the end, you get the Coca-Cola skin, right?
Yeah,
like that's how I would collaborate with it. So then people would go, they would do it, and then they have this method of continued collaboration where it's like, yo, someone's rocking the Coca-Cola skin or the Coca-Cola pickaxe or whatever, right? Like something like that will keep people very much engaged. And then like the next level up from that is like doing the opposite where it's like not only do you get a skin, but like your next like the next time you go buy a Coke or something, like it'll be like it'll have your Fortnite character on it. I don't know, like something like that, right? Where it's like just rewarding people for doing what they wanted them to in game.
And I mean, the big thing people are looking for is what they call UGC or user generated content, right? They're looking for people to create content using their branded stuff. That's where they're getting their returns on that kind of thing. But you have to make a fun thing for people to want to create user-generated content around. If it sucks, then
Yeah,
it's not going to work. But I also think that we're getting into this cool world with Roblox now that's attached to Shopify,
that is
where
so
you could have a
interesting.
Coke world, you could win the game, and then get a free can of Coke through a
Yeah.
Shopify link and be able to order something and get like an Amazon Coke, or I don't know, so, like have something sent to you for playing the game. Like, to me, that is really, really cool.
Totally agree.
And I would love to see people do that more. Like, imagine I'd go freaking play in the Mountain Dew world if I could get like a limited edition flavor of Mountain Dew for being Fortnite.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
you know,
like that would be an insane. That would be like an absolutely insane thing for that. Like
yeah,
what was the one that I was just thinking of? I mean, like look at so like Call of Duty Black Ops just launched recently, and I've noticed that there's a couple of brands that have
Yeah.
done stuff with them. So like what was it? Not Papa John's Pizza, Little Caesars Pizza. Like they have codes on the bottom of their boxes
yeah,
that unlock a skin for you in game.
yeah,
So it's like they obviously are getting sales because people are obsessed with Call of Duty, and like monsters give you double XP tokens inside
Yeah.
of the game. So
Well,
people are like buying up tons and tons of monsters because they just want that double XP stuff. Like that is so cool to me. Like what a cool
the Mountain
way
Dew
to
and
do that.
Doritos and Call of Duty, I feel like always do something, right?
Yeah, they always do something. There was a monster skin in a Warzone that everyone got for free, and so
Yeah.
like all the players who don't pay a dime for Call of Duty, you know, were rocking this skin because it's like one of the few skins they have for
Yeah.
free in the last season of Warzone. You know,
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't know,
Anyway,
like
there's such a big world for that stuff that people are just starting to scrape. It's exciting. I would love to see more stuff like that. That's kind of one of the things that I'm hoping to create with some of the things that I'm making is more gamification and marketing, working with marketing agencies to make video games or
that'd
make
be
stuff.
interesting.
Have you seen the PlayStation Pepsi Man video game?
No,
Gosh, dude,
what?
it is. PlayStation 1. Pepsi made a video game called Pepsi Man.
Drink.
It is so funny. You should put it on screen.
I can't even. Oh wow. Retro games Pepsi Man. Play now. What website did I just go on? The fruit? Play now and install all the viruses.
Yes, exactly.
Like this is too far.
I think that's so fun.
Let me see
Pepsi
this
had like
if
a
I can-
superhero essentially, and you got to play as the superhero. Have you seen the? They're doing a campaign now where they follow around pizza delivery cars and drop off a Pepsi at somebody's house after they order a pizza
That's interesting. All right.
because they say Pepsi goes best with pizza.
Oh, so they say.
So yeah,
So
so
they say.
immediately after somebody drops off a pizza, they'll drop off a Pepsi. And I think they just were like legitimately just following around pizza delivery people. Like, I don't know. It was probably staged, but some of the reactions were like they were blurring out people's faces and like they were legitimately just following people around.
That's interesting. Huh.
So
I don't know. Like, so going back to like the user generated content,
yeah.
like one thing we are actually working on for sale is we're actually creating a Discord bot that
Okay.
will take the URL of like your post
Mhm.
and will reward you in-game rewards based off of how many views you got on the post.
Okay.
And so like that's like motivating to the players because they get the in-game currency just because they posted about the game. That creates organic content for us, and it's kind of its own churn house, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like I have been so blown away with how awesome Discord bots are lately. Like
Yeah.
we have a developer who just created our it's going to be our in-game moderation system, but it's all through Discord. So like you have to have
Cool.
this special role on our Discord channel, and that gives you access to this bot. And this bot has all the capabilities of like banning people, like kicking them from servers and stuff. So it's like super secure, but also anyway, like but it's so user friendly, and like just because of the way that Discord is set up, you can make it pretty secure and stuff. It's awesome. So I've been
interesting.
wanting to make like all these Discord things, but I don't know.
I
I'd be
want
curious.
to I think it'd be fun to make a Twitch bot. I've seen some really cool Twitch like integrations and things to integrate into OBS for like live streaming. There's some cool
I got
ones.
one for you. I cannot find this. This is something I've been wanting to do with Twitch because I've been having a lot of fun live streaming.
Yeah.
And I always live stream to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
What I want to do is make it so that I can somehow in OBS or whatever have commands or something that let them fight each other. Like have YouTube versus Twitch chat battles, basically. Like that's what I want to do. I like even if it's as simple as like showing how many like what percentage is which as like a giant bar at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like Twitch chat versus YouTube chat. And like whoever has more viewers or has a higher chat rate or whatever. And like that's which chat is being shown on stream. I don't know, dude. Like that's something I would be very interested in like creating. But it'd be like even more fun if it's like you get points for typing in chat, and that allows you to just like send over a missile to Twitch chat, and it like disables them for a little bit because of that. Like I think that'd be such a unique thing, and that's a unique thing to now because it's like it's what's it called? Like so many people are like doing multi-streams, right? Where they're streaming to multiple platforms. And like I want to use that. Like I want to make it so that you can interact with the other streams, and it's like you know, Twitch chat is best, YouTube chat is best, but like make a game out of that. So,
yeah, I agree. That'd be awesome.
Got any ideas for that, dude? Like, let me know.
I'll talk to my people. Just kidding.
If you know someone, dude, that's something I'm very interested in, and it's like I feel like it's something that like people might even pay for. Could make something out of it. So
no, for sure.
I don't know. But we're getting up to that hour. Wow.
Yeah, that was fast.
Time flies when you're ripping on games.
Chat, remember next week we're gonna have a special guest. Be on your best behavior. It's the developer of Rally?
Derby VR.
Derby. I was thinking Home Run Derby.
Yep. Throwback Studios is the name of the company. Derby
VR.
Go check out Derby, guys. It's free to play on MetaQuest, so it's a lot of fun. I have put I've put several hours into that game as well. It's a lot of fun. You should go try it.
I definitely need to before the interview. I'm excited to jump in and do it, but yeah, make sure you tune in. We're gonna start at 1:00 Pacific. We're gonna start prompt this time. The last kind of 2 weeks, we've been a little bit late, so that's my bad.
Well, it's also my bad. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties today, and I've been editing YouTube videos, and I just kind of got lost in the sauce today. So, but yeah, we're excited to do it, and hopefully you guys have some fun questions about the development of that game. We're both really excited to talk to him about it. So
it'll be fun. It's gonna be a really cool chat, guys. And Jordan's a cool guy. If you don't, you've probably seen him on TikTok. He's all over the place. Great guy. Really cool story. I think you guys will have a good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. And I'm going to self-promote one more time. Try and go play my game. We're going to I'll put it in the Discord as well. I did post it on the general chat of the Discord at one point, but I'm trying to get as many people to play it as I can. Just because I want to. I think it would be fun to have a popular game that's for free on the web. So, and I tried to make it last a long time. But yeah,
it's really cool. Guys.
On free to play web game, and then make sure you play Cell.
Everyone's asking us for the follow up stream. Go play something. What's the follow up stream today?
What can you jump on?
I have Rivals,
dude. Fuss yeah.
All right, we're jumping into the Rivals chat.
All right.
Practically Addict Podcast is out of here. Go follow us on all the places if you haven't.